Good evening. My name is John Frank Moran. Most people call me Frank. I'm so happy that you've decided to spend some time with me this evening. I was born in 1918 up in Albany. I attended school there and in Leesburg. You know that place where Buster Posey, Luke Bryan, what's the guy's name that won the singing contest? What's his name? Philip Phillips, that's right. Well, listen, I'm not going to sing for y'all tonight, so let's get back to talking about me just a little bit. My grandfather, James William Moran, was born, came to this country in 1882. He came here to the United States from Ireland, and he was 30 years old when he came in, and he settled in Perry, Florida. My father was a World War I veteran, and some of the time his duty was spent up in Albany, and his job was to guard the bridge over the Flint River. A lot of the supplies that were coming and going, of course, they used the Flint River and the boats to bring the supplies back and forth. And the Flint River played an important part for the war effort, and it was very heavily guarded. He met and married my mother in 1916 while he was in Albany, and during this time he became a tree surgeon, and he grafted many of the pecan orchards that surround Albany today, the older pecan orchards. My father died in 1933 when I was 14 years of age. My brother was 9 and my sisters were 7 and 5. Of course, this was during the Depression and times were very hard. And my mother, she had always lived in Albany, but she decided to buy a 40-acre farm out Lake Douglas Road that had been previously owned by her grandmother. She felt like that she could keep her children and raise them on the farm a lot better than she could by staying in Albany. She sharecropped the farm, and she worked at the Decatur County Courthouse. And my mother was diagnosed with colon cancer and died in 1942. At that time, my sisters were 16 and 14. My brother and I were in the Army, and when we came home for a funeral, we decided that we would send them to boarding school up at Norman Park. I took care of my older sister, Elizabeth, and my brother Charlie took care of the younger sister, Catherine. We paid their tuition and had some money set aside or sent to them for their clothing and for their other needs. I was a sergeant in the Army, in the U.S. Army, in the 121st Infantry, which was better known as the Old Gray Bonnet Regiment. I served in Germany and landed at Normandy Beach. I met and married the love of my life, Mary Ela Sasser, in 1943. Prior to being shipped overseas, we had 6 children. We had Mac, Mary, Lisa, Paul, Jeff, and our youngest son, John, in 1953, suffocated in a refrigerator. And also Susan Hinchcliffe, who was our 4-year-old neighbor, and her little dog. The refrigerator was in the Hinchcliffe's garage. It became unlawful after that tragedy for anyone to put a refrigerator out on the street without the lock being removed from it. My family and I enjoyed very much camping during the summertime. We started out tent camping, and then we graduated up to pop-up camper. We made many, many memories. I can remember one time we took 30 days and camped all the way to Washington, D.C. and back. We decided after that time that we would never camp 30 days straight again. We were so glad to get back home. My wife was a teacher for the Decatur County school system for 35 years. And after she retired, she taught continuing education for Amico and also at the Adult Learning Center, where she helped people to be able to take and pass their GED. And she taught until her death in 1998. I worked with the U.S. Postal System and was a city mail carrier for the city of Bainbridge and for 22 years. And then I retired in 1979, had 29 years of civil service. I then worked as a security guard at Amoco and until my death in March of 1982. I'm thankful to be laid here in this beautiful Oak City, and I'm thankful that you have taken out the time to come and see me here tonight. And y'all have a wonderful tour.